Right guys, I thought I'd do a quick overview of my Possibles pouch. So what is a Possibles pouch, you may be asking yourself? Well, a Possibles pouch is a small bag or pouch that holds everyday essential items for survival. So this currently lives in the boot of my vehicle. The idea of these is that they are small enough and light enough to be transferred from vehicle to vehicle, depending on what we're doing and where we're going, whether we're going camping for the weekend, or we're going away in the camper van for a week, or we've got a long motorway journey. So there's something inside here, or a tool or an item that would be useful in like a worst case scenario. Just to give you an example on that, it could be that you've broken down on the motorway, you've had to exit the vehicle, it could be the depths of winter, or even the height of summer. These pouches can be adapted accordingly to the season that we're in. It could be that you've broken down a remote part of the Lake District and it's night time, it's cold, you're waiting for recovery, you've got complete engine failure or battery failure. So there's something that's inside this pouch that could help us as a family, or even an individual or someone else that is in need. I mean, how many times have you seen it? You're driving down the motorway and you witness a family that have obviously broken down, and in the UK we are told to vacate the vehicle and wait on the opposite side of the crash barrier whilst we wait for recovery. The huddled together, the freezing cold, it could be raining, and that discomfort or part of the discomfort could be avoided just by carrying a few essential basics. I just want to reiterate that I am in the UK, so if you're viewing this from a country that's considerably larger than ours, i.e. America, where you can be days away from civilization, here in the UK we're never more than probably a couple of miles away from a little corner shop, or 4 or 5 miles away from a major supermarket, unless you go into the depths of Scotland, like the Cairngorms, where they're just little remote pocket villages. You know, we don't need half the items that you guys have over there. Right, so let's have a quick look at what's inside. So the first thing you'll see is, try and get this out, there we are, is first aid kit. I've added some little things inside there as well, just some extra bandages and plasters. But yeah, little micro first aid kit, always handy. Well, let's get onto the pouch. So this is made by Olife, which I'm sure is the same company as Olight, which do the torches, but I purchased this from the Sharp Show last year. I think it's about 20 quid. So as you can see from the front, we've got the bungee cord with a toggle, and there's 2 compartments, and on the rear you've got some molly webbing and some press studs to go around a belt, and obviously a little grab handle. So let's see if we can do this one-handed, and then we can have a look in. Inside we've obviously got the molly webbing, and we've got a little pouch down the back. Inside there I've got a little plasma lighter, which is waterproof and windproof. Also, I've got some zip ties. They're good for securing, tying something down if necessary. This does look really bad, this, pulling out zip ties in a plasma lighter. It's not one of them videos, I can assure you. Metal pen. That there. I've got some insulation tape. I've removed the middle of that so it's easy to fold over. I've got a torch. This is a emergency glass break, and knife sharpener. I've got a Bic lighter. Now you can see on this Bic lighter They've wrapped that in insulation tape. Again, that's good for tying down, so not tying down but securing. Also as well, it's a good source of fuel for starting a fire, so you can wrap that round something that's damp, and as you light the duct tape and the branch, it sort of melts and congeals onto it, and it stays lit for a long time. Here I've got a Leatherman multi-tool, so inside the multi-tool itself is various, in fact I'll show you while I'm here. Let me get this out. So this is the Leatherman Sidekick. I'm definitely not going to be able to open this up one-handed, so 1 second. And as if by magic. So yeah, I like this Sidekick because the pliers are they automatically open, which is really handy. You've got a cutting implement and a wire stripping implement there. Probably hear my son in the background. So you got one-handed opening, and my partner bought me this about 5 or 6 years ago. And then to access the others, so we can access the scissors now. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. It's rather difficult. There we are. And just got to flick that spring back. He says. Yeah. So we've got some workable scissors. So open back up on the other side, we've got a small metal file, a can opener, and I don't know what that is, but it's bloody sharp. I've never used it. It looks like something like for maybe cleaning a burr off or something, I'm not too sure. But anyway, that's them ones. And then on the other side, we've got access to a Phillips and a Posi screwdriver. And then on the other side of the pouch, I've got some hand sanitizer. I've just taped down the lid on that because I don't want that leaking out. So there's two purposes for the hand sanitizer. Number one is it'll clean and disinfect your hands. But number two, it's an excellent fuel source for that emergency where you do need to start a fire. You could be cold, broken down, and it's obviously safe to do so, just to keep yourself warm. This one, I think it's 90% alcohol. It's quite a thick gel. Some of them are quite runny, but this one's quite thick, so it stays in one place. So coupled with the duct tape, there's two excellent sources of fuel there that'll help start a fire in poor conditions. I've got the small Nipex water pump pliers. These are great for tightening or releasing small nuts. The Leatherman does have the capability of doing that with the pliers, but sometimes with these you've got a little bit more leverage with it being longer on the handle. Sharpie, and inside here I've got some towels. Well, there will be towels. So these little tablets, once you add them in water, they'll expand, which is why I've got them in this waterproof container, just in case something happens and they get wet. I forgot to mention as well that down this side I normally keep a spare mobile phone charger, but it's charging my phone up at the moment. and also under this little flap here I normally keep a bit of cash, about 40 quid, but it's always getting raided, so there's no cash in there at the moment. So what I'm going to do now is look on the other side of the pouch. Inside here I've got some paracetamol and anti-inflammatories. In this one I've got some water purification tablets, and on this side I've got 2 foil blankets. So these are good, so these are the larger ones. I think they're about 2 meters long. Yeah, 2 meters be 1.5 meters. So the beauty of these ones as well is that they're reusable, and there's also a few other uses. So you can make a shelter out of them, use it as a ground tarp. So yeah, there's quite a few uses for them, which is good. So there are a few more things that I'm going to add. I'm going to add a whistle, which I think would be a good shout. So I'm going to attach that to there, and also some electrolytes. I'm going to get a couple more of these little tubes, and then keep some electrolytes inside there. Probably add some snack bars, like trail mix maybe, but I think this is now getting to the point where it's completely full. I've just had a slight alteration as well, that I've added 2 meters of paracord, and that's where the insulation tape was, and that can now live in there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.